How are we living, boys? We are doing the BRIAR first item tier list, so I have a lot of things out here, and we're going to mostly be talking about things first item. And as you can see, we have the chat at the bottom. Let's move that over. Here we go. Everyone type 1 if I did really good job right there. Oh my god, you see all the ones? Wait, I'm the GOAT. Okay, let's get right into this. So the idea with this is that we are going to legitimately be doing first items only. I'm going to include some random... this one's good if second and so on, but it is what it is. As you can see, tiers are set up, S tier being the best, A, B, C, straight down. Is what it is. We can just start from left to right here, so left to right will matter, but we will reorder it at the end. We're going to first put everything into its tier and then organize it. Just makes sense. Oh my god, we ready? Let's go. So you have Titanic Hydra, the GOAT. Now this one will be 1. Not even close. Dude, Titanic. You get HP scaling, 1,000,000 HP, tons of AD, auto attack reset. It works with every rune. Conqueror, you get an extra 2 stacks just by hitting the button. PTA, you get to do faster combos. Lethal Tempo, you get stacked fully faster. Halo Blades actually works correctly with it too, so you get the extra auto too. Yeah, all of it. All of it. It's just, I mean, it's legitimately the best BRIAR item. It's not even close, actually. Bork would be second, I think. It's tough after seeing where Bork is at just because of the nerfs, changing it from 10% current health to 8. Bork has not felt as good, but when, like, I don't know, like, feeling is a relative concept, right? Like, people thought Bork felt terrible when it was great, and they think it feels better now. I don't know. People, I mean, personal experience is a crazy thing. Regardless, sometimes it just feels like when you want to kill tanks, and then you buy Bork to do it, it sometimes feels like I would have just killed them if I had Titanic and I just waited for another set of cooldowns. Because most tanks can't run away from you. To where, like, if I just buy Titanic by Cleaver, I just kill him on the second rotation instead of the first. So, I don't know. It doesn't really feel like it's changing too much overall. Like, I don't know. A lot of people, like, overestimate wanting to kill a tank on the first rotation of W. It's like, who cares? Just go second rotation, right? Like, what tank is running away from you? None. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Bork is definitely up there. Definitely really good, but we'll see that stays number 2. Now, some of these are looking a little more weird, but Hubris... Actually, let's go Death Stance. We have 2 Death Stance. Oh, my god. Death Stance, I think, is a horrible first item. I'm not going to lie. Some of you are building this item first, says Mobilytics, and it's terrible. What are we buying this for? What are you, a Steel Sigil for the Lee Sin matchup? No, man, that's terrible. So if you're the type of person that's going Death Stance first, please, you need to focus up. You need to lock in. The Death Defy or whatever, it's passive that, like, reduces the damage that you take, first of all. That gets better later into the game because you get tankier, so it, like, if it applies at 30% health or whatever, right? Like, 30% of my HP is higher when I'm level 18. So it just gets better later. Stop building this early. That's it. That's all that there is to it. Yeah, I don't know why people are doing that. BT first. I mean, like, so if this is, like, completely unplayable tier, unfortunately, BT's better than that. Still terrible. Where I think these actually need to be labeled, where I'll say, like, terrible. Really terrible. Right? Like, I feel like it's important to note that just because this is C tier doesn't mean it's good. It's just not really terrible. God tier, great, good. Nice, but BT does way more damage, and when you get snowballing with BT, it actually feels pretty good. Me being one of the people that's playtested Lifesteal BRIAR the most, like, it's actually kind of surprisingly good if you're able to get some of the recalls for it, because I think BT is good. But overall, yeah, it's just terrible. Now, I wanted to add another tier where, like, maybe we do this. Add row under, right? Maybe we do something like this, just in case. Not first, but great, right? We'll see what goes in here. I don't think anyone's actually building Steraks first. Any stats that said people were building this probably were just either scuff stats or, I don't even know, just, like, someone trolling for fun. This is a great item, not great at first. third to fourth item at best, never even second. So, never do that. Black Cleaver first is actually in the God tier slot, especially for top lane BRIAR. In jungle, this is not as good. It's not as good as top lane, but when you're in some of these tougher top lane matchups, Shen being one of them, Poppy being another, those matchups are unplayable. You get Black Cleaver, it's completely playable. So it's God tier. It bails you out, and it's only 3,000 gold, which basically means for 10 minutes you take the backseat, and then the next 10 minutes you win for free. So, very good. Been seeing people go Maw. I dare say it, it's like the same thing as Death's Dance. I think it might actually just be better than Death's Dance, just because it's cheaper and you get to start building the next item faster. Again, these are just like, you know, not first but greats really, but I don't know. I mean, I'm separating them just for the sake of doing it. Eclipse goes into great tier. It's not close. I think what makes Eclipse so great is, again, it's cheap. You get to go into your second item faster. And most of the time, your second item is Sundered Sky, which, like, when you do Eclipse Sundered Sky and you're snowballing with it, you get those items really fast. They're super efficient in what they do. They just do a huge short burst trade, and it's actually kind of nuts. It does fall off a little bit where, like, people reach a point where you doing that fast burst combo just flat out does nothing for you. Like, it just doesn't do enough. And you have to start your fight with WQ, so you have to use the initial Sundered Sky proc, which, like, it sometimes isn't enough. Like, you don't get to see the second Sundered Sky proc, so it was kind of rough. But overall, Eclipse as a first item is great. It just, you know, falls off a little bit, but that's okay. Let's talk Sundered Sky. I think Sundered Sky first is worse than Eclipse, albeit Sundered Sky is a better item first item. This just, no, man, it's just not doing it. Albeit it has the same stats as Black Cleaver. For some reason, just doesn't hit. It really doesn't. The healing feels like super average. Most of the time that you're doing Sundered Sky first, you're doing it in lane. Where, like, in lane, I would say it's good or great. Like, maybe here, if we're talking just specifically BRIAR in lane, but mostly jungle here. Let's say this is probably here. Just because, again, like, Eclipse is so cheap that you immediately get to go into this. Eclipse plus a Ruby Crystal is, like, a disgustingly good buy. Yeah, so I think it's pretty fair to leave these at this. Next up, we have Hubris. I think Hubris might be God tier. I'd say great tier, though. I think it's like this. Because Bruiser is, like, definitely a better way to be playing BRIAR right now. But Hubris and Lethality are still really good. So I think this is probably where it goes. I think just going Hubris first, like, if you are going Lethality in a game where it's good, where, like, you saw enemy teams draft, you see that Lethality's good, going Hubris with the insured snowball means that you're going to hit 3 items super fast, tons of damage, you're going to one-tap. So this one's, like, conditional to say, like, you need to be getting this in the right times, which is, you know, where some people actually mess up. Overall, super good item. I'm going to put Youmuus behind Sundered Sky, because Youmuus sometimes, like, you just fall off hard with it, too. It doesn't really scale that well. But in the games that it's good, it's actually great. Like, if I could see how the enemy team would play, this could go, like, here, even. Not gonna lie. But sometimes there's a lot of games where you don't get a lot out of the movement speed because there's, like, you're running to nothing plays and you reset and it's not that good. So, I think on average it ends up being great, but not God tier. Let's do Opportunity. Opportunity first is a little bit worse than Youmuus, but it's super cheap, pretty good. I think Opportunity is just a better complement to other things, but I think if you're rushing this right now, it's not bad. Yeah, so Lich Bane, right? I don't know if you guys are sleeping on AP, right? I'm the guy that got AP to Masters, okay? There's some people that are struggling to get Diamond telling me about AP BRIAR. I played it more than you, and I played it in higher ranks than you. And that's not to ego, but it's just to say, like, a lot of people are judging this with zero experience, just what they think, which has no value. And it's like, albeit, I mean, my initial feeling on things, I sometimes too say. But it just feels like there's so much overwhelming hate for AP BRIAR, and it's like, guys, I promise, man, you can put people in body bags with this build. And Lich Bane's how you do it, with doing the W1, Sheen proc, wait 2 seconds, Q, Sheen proc, and then W2 after 2 more seconds, and then you get 3 Sheen procs. And Lich Bane actually cranks damage. Some people are going Stormsurge first into Rabadons for AP. Yeah, no. Not first, but it's a good item. Lich Bane clears this item. It's not even close. That's it. Question over with. Someone asked about, what's it called? Where's Nashor's? Nashor's isn't a first item that I've seen any data on at all. Spirit Visage first. So for some people in tank top lane matchups against like things like Kennen and so on, they're going this. No. I think in matchups like Kennen, you just buy Mercs and then go damage, or just go damage. Never Spirit Visage first, I don't think. It just, you do no damage for like 6,000 gold, and BRIAR needs to be doing damage. Other tanks can get away with this, not BRIAR. Not even close. Next up, we got Navori. Navori, like, again, just falls into this, like, really good second, third, and fourth. Not first. Dude, most of these items, what they have in common is that they give damage on first item. BRIAR needs damage. So, yeah, just is what it is. I don't know why people are going this first. Kraken first is actually surprisingly good. I would say it's better than Lich Bane. And I would say it's maybe better than Opportunity. Kraken's really slept on. If you can get Kraken plus like 2 Ruby Crystals for Titanic, you actually go disgusting OP. Kraken's pretty slept on. But even so, it falls into like, if you just get Kraken second or third, it's way better. I don't know. So it is what it is. It's not that bad first though. Yuntao, like, so Titanic Yuntao is like the build I just came out with. I don't think it's that good first. It's basically interchangeable with Kraken, where it's like, again, you just want these second or third. So for the sake of just keeping one on the list and one not, I'll just put them there. So there you go. People are going Hullbreaker for split push builds. I'll say it, Hullbreaker's kind of slept on. It's actually pretty good. Unfortunately, Lich Bane is getting kicked back because I'm going to be honest, like, AD builds are probably just flat out better, other than like BT and these ones, because I don't know, they're just not that good, right? They're not great, but not first, but great items. But people are legitimately hard forcing these first, so that's why they get their own tier. Hullbreaker's pretty good. You get to do good damage. If you're ever hitting a turret, I mean, helps a little bit with that. Auto Q, Auto Titanic 2 on turrets can like actually proc it on it like a short burst to get you somewhere. But it's kind of conditional to have 2 items. Overall, it's not too bad. The stats are good. Alright, let's talk Hexplate. Experimental Hexplate. Dude, let me tell you, you guys really want this item to be good. And it's just, like, I don't know, man. It's like, look at all these, look at the stats it gives, right? Attack speed, 80 health. And it's like, it just is like kind of, it feels spread thin. It feels spread thin. The conditional R thing means, like, to me, that you kind of need to take like Ultimate Hunter or something so that you can ult more. Overall, like, the stats are fine. They're just not great. Overall, though, I would say it's probably here, just on stats alone. It's probably around here.
Logan JGN, Logan JGN,
S'mores.
Logan JGN.
Thanks for the 10 months, my friend. Thank you so much. Yeah, so Hexplate's good. It's better than Kraken for sure, but it's definitely worse than Youmuus in most cases. What's up, Collector? Now, Collector, man, you guys are in love with here, and I'll even say it. I'll say the build name because people in the BRIAR subreddit, or not subreddit, Discord, love this name. I never say it because I don't want to give you guys credit. But the Turkish Delight build, you guys are so cringe. But yeah, so that builds the Collector into Sundered Sky, Titanic type thing with Hail Blades. Fun build. I love the video I made about it, and it's pretty cool. I don't think it's that great in comparison to Titanic and Bork first. I really don't. But Collector first goes to a lot of builds, and I think it's like definitely slept on. I would say it's probably better than Black Cleaver first. So it's probably something like this. It's interchangeable with Bork. I would say this is more like a player preference thing, if Bork or Collector first is better. But overall, there we go. Sorry, that was getting loud enough. It's probably something like this, because this goes for lethality, this goes for crit, and it goes for this hybrid this hybrid bruiser build. So it just has tons of like interchangeable build routes, rune routes. You can just do a ton with the item. It's super good, and it's one of BRIAR's best items. It would be more realistic for me to actually just say this, to be honest. This actually feels a lot better because Titanic is the best item. Best first item. It's not close, guys. It's not close, and I'll even say it one more time. It's not close. Titanic is the best BRIAR item right now. It's not close. But this feels a lot more respectful to the builds, so let's do that. Let's talk Stridebreaker. Stridebreaker is like a worse version of these things. It's definitely better than Hexplate. Again, like Youmuus falls into this category of like when you're going Hubris or Youmuus, it's like assuming that the lobby's good for it because you pick lethality, that you will always get something going. Stridebreaker can be used a little bit. Like, you can go Stridebreaker Collector. You can go Stridebreaker into, like, damage build, Stridebreaker Kraken. It's just not that good. Like, the thing about BRIAR is, like, you don't really need a slow. Like, first of all, you have red buff that'll already do it. And then if you don't have that, you just already run 9,000 MS faster than everyone else. That's slowing them down. It's kind of a wasted stat because if you're hitting someone, you're probably killing them. Just how it works. So, yeah, it just kind of falls short. So, but, I mean, it's good. It's just super expensive and does low damage. That's the biggest problem with Stridebreaker. It's expensive, doesn't do that much damage. BRIAR needs to be a threat. So then we go to Ravenous Hydra. Ravenous Hydra isn't that bad. Its stats are good. The problem is you don't get health, and it costs a lot. So it falls into, like, this... It seems like this B tier category is, like, it needs a little bit of help. And it definitely does. But it's pretty slept on. I think it might be better than Kraken just because if you put yourself in situations to hit the Ravenous Hydra button on a camp or in a minion wave during a fight, you'll actually go full health, and it can change a lot of things. It has a ton of damage. All you need to do is complete this item and get some health, and it's actually really good. Shojin, I think, is like objectively looking at the stats are really good. But the passive, you're paying a lot of money for the passive that doesn't do that much for you. It's not that good. A lot of people are really sold on Shojin. I'm going to be honest. Like, guys, I rock with y'all. I really do. Stop building this item. Man, it increases spell damage. Bro, you're not playing for giant W2s and Qs. And if you are, that's the wrong way to be doing it. This item doesn't increase it in the way that you think it does, and it just doesn't really do too much. In situations where this increased spell damage in a noticeable way, like Cleaver would have done the same thing for your team, reducing their armor, and then increasing your damage because you reduce their armor 30%. So this is just superior to that by far, and it's not close. Yeah, it just isn't. BRIAR is an auto-attacking champion. Unless you're playing AP, BRIAR's an auto-attacking champion. This is for AD spellcasters. This is for AD everything. So, I don't know. Not to draw the comparison too hard, but this is just not who BRIAR is. And that's it. Triforce is actually slept on. I would say it's at the end of great tier. It's probably better than Hexplate. Probably worse than Stride, I think that's fair to say. It's slept on. The build path is pretty dog. And it kind of falls off at times when Spellblade procs are just getting blocked by like a good amount of like good armor. But overall, I mean, it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Next up, we got Profane Rush. So if this was last split, Profane Rush would be here. Now, once they got rid of the 50% threshold on this item, it's not that good. This, I'm actually just going to call it not first, but great. Because your first item in most lethality builds is probably Collector. And Profane's not better than Collector. I would say if you're going Profane, it's like usually second, third, or fourth, where it is really good then in comparison. It's just like, you know, one of those things. And then lastly, this one, I assume most of the people that are rushing Wits End are doing it because they're playing it's an AP laner. And it's just not that good. Attack speed, no AD, and no health. So no AD and no health, not that good. So, yeah, first item, it's just not good. I would say it's definitely, it might be even worse than these. So, yeah. Yeah, this is specifically first item. Yeah, these are the items that you should be rushing, I think. Let's see from left to right. So, like, GOAT status, I mean, Titanic is undefeated. No one can disprove Titanic. It's proven it time and time again, man. Like, old Bork last patch was like a contender just because you flat out could just be less mindful of the game and get away with a lot more. But, I don't know. It's like just not that anymore. And plus, like, the reality is that you should be playing more mindful as BRIAR. That's like kind of how you grow as a champ. Yeah, I don't know. As a player, rather. So, I don't know. Titanic, GOAT status, not even close. Collector plays into 3 builds as their first item. Disgustingly good item. Bork first. Super good. Not gonna lie. It can't really build split. You kind of have to go Bork by Cleaver. But when you do Bork by Cleaver, you can kill anything in a 1v1. It's not even close. And you have good cooldown reduction. Eclipse, only problem, like, it could be here. But it just straight up, it falls off too hard sometimes. Which is mostly the player. But sometimes in, like, team fights 25 minutes and past, it's not really the player as much. It's just flat out the build plays to burst on, like, AD burst, and sometimes that's just not that good. Hubris, assuming that you're building in the correct times, will always pop off and be really good. Sundered Sky first. It has good base stats. Sometimes the heal goes to waste because you start the fight, and then you lose the fight before it's back up and whatever, but it's still good stat-wise. Youmuus, same thing as Hubris, but a little worse, where, like, if you know that you're going lethality, it's good, but sometimes, again, like, sometimes you pick a lethality game, you buy Youmuus, and then there's no plays, and then you just kind of have this random, like, button that doesn't really do much, but gets you out of base. Stridebreaker, good, just costs too much, does too little damage. Same thing, Triforce, costs too much, does too little damage. Hexplate, same thing. Ravenous Hydra just needs health, and it would be cracked BRIAR item. Kraken, same thing. Just needs a little bit of health. Definitely really good, 3rd and 4th, I think. Paired with Titanic, it, like, goes up a full tier. Opportunity, same thing as Hubris and Youmuus, better in tandem. Hullbreaker, build path, you know, it's just okay. What it does is it like has no, like, I don't know, man, like, what do you do when you're not hitting enemy champions or turrets? You just have this, like, wonky statted item that really doesn't do much. AP build, I mean, this is like the realistic analysis of what AP is in comparison to Bruiser, where, like, even some of the bad Bruiser builds are still better than playing AP BRIAR. But Lich Bane by itself first item is really strong and probably could, like, go up a few slots. Lich Bane by itself is really strong. Shojin, to be honest, Shojin's going terrible tier, to be honest, but it's not as bad as BT, gonna be honest. BT's tough to build. BT, just a bad Bork, that's all it is. These items are great items, but why are you going these items first? You shouldn't be. And then, yeah, actually, let's just combine these at the end of it. They're great items. Just why are you doing it? Like, why are you going these items first? Just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, there you go. There's your build tier list, or your first item tier list. Because we could do overall usefulness in a different way, but I would say, like, a lot of people are messing up on their first item, thus giving them a rough spot later on, and it's, like, just completely rough. I'll respond to chat right now. If you guys have any questions you want to feel like should be included, feel free to
Logan,
put it in there now.
I've never
Hey, thanks for the follow, bro. How you been? Yeah, mods, this is only first item. I miss old Eclipse. Old Eclipse Collector was gas. My next build is Titanic Collector, Bork, Black Cleaver, Eclipse, and Boots. What the hell are you building? Yeah, Lee Green, this is just first item. Let's see. And what percentage of games do you build mercs over armor boots? Some days more, some days less. Depends on enemy team's draft. What's BRIAR's best MR item? You're looking at it. Visage. When would you ever build Black Cleaver first before Bork, as they are both kind of anti-tank? Yes, they are both anti-tank, but in situations where enemy team's tank will out-damage, like, burst you, you can't go Bork against. So times like that would be Poppy, Shen, even Alawi, things like that, where, like, sure, you can go Bork and you can try and fight those tanks. They're going to just slam you, and you won't get to see the later end of Bork. Whereas if you have Black Cleaver, you can actually live long enough to fight 2 fights. So, yeah. Yeah, those times. Most of the time, Black Cleaver first is for top lane. Just in the tougher matchup. Because again, like something like Shen is a great example, where Shen's a tank that you need to kill a tank, right? But he just hits W, and now your auto attacks suck. And it's like, oh, that sucks. Whereas, like, you know, then Black Cleaver's giving you ability haste, giving you tank stats to get through his combo. Just, I don't know, just better in that way. So it only gets put God tier just because in the times that it is good, it is great. You could go at first and, like, do average, like, bad Titanic type vibes, but when it's good, it's great. Whereas Infinity Edge, you wouldn't go Infinity Edge first ever. I didn't see any stats of people doing this. And this is how I mostly got these first items, by the way, is I just went here and I just looked at all the first items. And I just wrote down the ones that were real, right? So I didn't write down people that went Magi's first and Shadowflame first, right? I didn't do that. Well, yeah, I think I actually hit all ranks, but yeah, so that's just where I pulled this from, is just took this because, like, sure, people can tell me, like, hey, Logan, no one's actually going these items. I'm like, argue with the website because, hey, man, it's not my battle. Not my battle, man. I read the website and I let it be. Yeah, there you go. Hope you enjoy it. How are we living, boys? Now we're actually in game, so let's go ahead and enjoy it. We're going to do the fastest full clear I possibly can. Hopefully I can perfect it for you. I'm not going to do no cuts or anything. It is what it is. Lock it in. Right now, this game, if you look at enemy team, it's Vlad, Volibear, Lux, Samira, Thresh. So actually, pretty good BRIAR counterplay. This is like sometimes one of those games you'd be upset about. Luckily, if you pay a lot of attention to your recalls, you'll be just fine. Auto attack, then W. Do your 5 autos. So 3, 4, 5. Immediate W2 so that you can buffer one more auto. You're actually going to pull this all the way back. One more time. This is where you want to be if you want to go for the fastest clear. So this now gives you 4 autos on your W rather than the 3 that we usually do. Someone worded this, so we know that Volibear started blue side. Or Raptors, I mean, technically. And that's good because you can plan your next, fight with him if it comes down to that. Don't need to auto attack it once it hits 50 health, you just walk away. Now you're going to do auto E, and then I just right click, buffer that auto attack, and then W. That wolf not going into the wall. Don't know if it matters. I don't think it will because jungle pet, but I've seen weirder stuff matter. But it looks pretty good right now. One more auto and we're good. We're gonna hop out the bed. Swag is on. This one you get 6 autos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Immediate W2 into E and just start walking at red. That will die no matter what. Now this time you're actually going to use your smite, and you won't have smite here if you don't have Cosmic Insight. It'll come up a little bit after. So you have to be quite mindful of that. A lot of people ask me why I don't have smite ready. It's because of Cosmic Insight. Send your E. One more auto. That dies no matter what. Slide through. And now we're here, and this is basically the perfect clear. So you're there. Now all you have to do is use your E to clear out the minis, and you're done. So this isn't the fastest, but this is a solid 312, and that ain't bad at all. You can't really kill a Thresh like this, one, because of Aftershock. Once he flays you, you will be left out to dry. Oh, that looks like a free kill, though. But if you have your team, I mean, it looks pretty good. Alright, so we used everything, wait for Aftershock, bam, and now we go. Remember, Aftershock is the thing that makes him get super tanky, right? After immobilizing enemy champion, he gains a ton of resistances, and that's going to mess up our plan. Go ahead and check out this crab. We know that he should be topside because he didn't start red buff. That ward went away before we saw him. Given that, we know that he's there. Now, one thing you can do, you can assume enemy jungler will just gank mid here if top lane's not diveable, so that doesn't look diveable, so we could just gank this. And that's basically a standard jungle game. We're going to try and chain with our team. We really can't do too much here unless he turns and gets E'd. It's close. We can actually blast this wave in and we can go and deny them here. Now, denying them here is pretty advanced. I don't expect your teams to know to do this, but trust me, they should miss a full wave here. This guy's here. GTP, that's good. So I'm actually going to grab Bork this time. Should also be trying to recall a little bit faster than that, but we're going Bork just to make sure that we can 1v1 these two characters and then leave the rest for my Tahm Kench. Basically, Tahm Kench can win against these three like it's nothing. So we need to deal with the two people that beat Tahm Kench, and that will be pretty good. Nice. Yeah, so you got your full clear set up, and now what do you do after that? Well, you just look for the same full clear, and you just try and, you know, come up with ganks based off of how the game looks. So basically, he has 28 farm. That means he full cleared and did one crab, so no top crab's gone. Oh, man. It's looking a little scary. Looks like they got to fight it out. Now, because Volibear isn't there, we assume that he's on his wolves or something like that, and then going to his raptors. So most of the time, people just call this, you know, just doing the same thing. I think some people say this is mirrored or whatnot, but either way, just know wherever you are, he should be. Pretty easy way to remember what he should be doing. And then just assume any differences in time based off of the neutrals. So right here, we're looking pretty good. So he's here with 36 farm, right? So 28 on first clear, 32, 36. So we know both of his topside camps are up. So this is a safe dragon because he shouldn't be here, right? He should be farming. And if he goes bot and gets nothing, well then he's being inefficient about his camps. Now we could look for this. I don't know if they're just going to give the freeze. I'm just going to play for Jungle Diff here and go for this dragon. Wait for the knockback, then Q. So he's being inefficient right here, that's fine. I mean, to be honest, his team is lower than mine, so we should be fine on this play. Thresh can't just hook you, right? So we're good. Main thing I want to look to do here is just dodge our spells. We can actually slide on this guy. Him using Q is basically a death sentence for himself. No Thresh Q. Nice. Huge. And that inefficient has now bought us a greater advantage than you think, because one, we get the neutral. Okay. Now we can contest his side of the neutral. On top of the fact that my camp's already dead and respawning, and stuff like that is a huge advantage. Nice. And again, I just played on my bot lane timer, and that's the only decision that I had to make, was the fact that my bot lane was, like, even though they were technically weaker, right? They're 2 and 3. Because they had recalled more, or died, right? They've hit the shop more recently than their team. We can just do that. So now we have a pretty good advantage here, and we just keep trying to trickle that down the same way. So we're going to look for the same full clear down. But this time I'm going to throw in a grubs here. Since I have top prio and mid prio right now, I'm actually just going to run straight there. And I'm running straight there instead of doing camps because I want to utilize my team's time too. He's right there. We're level 6 before him because we got the first neutral. So we're here. Stun him. He might look to stun us back. Yeah. Standard game. And us being level 6 and him not being level 6 is strictly based off the fact that I got that dragon. Just how the game ends up working. So now we're going to slide through on these. We have 2 smite charges, so we're going to send 2 real quick. We're going to stack these up if possible before our next W. Now technically, right, he path bottom up. So both of his buffs are up, just like mine. So you could play for one of his, but it's kind of like RNG in a way where, like, depending on where he goes, it might make, you know, your play a little bit worse. So just take your own camps here. It's more consistent to just go your own camps. Play for your Bork and let it be. Because if you go to his red right now, Lux roams on you, then you'd be depressed because you had an advantage and you threw it away just to, you know, risk it to take his. Now, some players are risky like that and they make it work. It's fine with me. I simply will not be doing that. I'm going to take the more consistent play here. Again, you never want to stack on 2 smite charges, so I'm going to use that one really quick and be happy about it. Now, the next play we want to look for is definitely going to be with our R. So we'd like to be strong for that. We need 75 more gold, which is basically 1 more camp. But since I'm so close to all 3 camps, I'm just going to full clear because there's no objectives on the map. So there's really no timer in my head other than ganks, right? Like, there's no impending doom waiting for me other than maybe my bot lane right now. But it looks like they might win that, actually. Those sums. I see a fight this close. I'm always walking. It's just how it works. I think we shoot this one super linear backwards. That juke is supposed to buy us at least 1 kill. It was a sweet angle. I think I die for it. But hey, man, I'll take that. That's a double for the books. Now, the cool thing about that is we still have the advantage of our clear, right? Because he's pathing down this time. So, either way, looking good. I'm not mad about it. We're going to grab this. And double ruby crystal is usually what you want. 300 health is OP. Pickaxe, if you really want to snowball some damage, you can go pickaxe here. But double ruby crystal is actually, like, usually a lot better. Now we're going to go clearing in the original direction. We're going to finish our line, if you will. Right, straight line down. So we're going to finish that line because of the fact that my Gromp hasn't spawned yet. So there's no reason to be standing at it. You know, you want to, instead of just standing at your Gromp waiting for the next play, or the next full clear rather, you just play for the same old one. And then look, now a bot lane gank shows up, and it's because you walked to the right place, right? Instead of walking top, when you shouldn't have. You went bot, finished your line, and now there's another gank. And this is when people start feeling like, oh my god, he won't leave our lane. Well, it's like, it's only just because it made sense for me. Oh, man, this is rough. Now, to be fair, we just out. It should have been a lot better for us, but that's okay. My Grump still hasn't spawned. We have 47 seconds till this next dragon, so I'm going to look for a mid play instead. Shouldn't hit this, but I like to. Looks like my mid might win that. Holy Bear might look for my mid laner, though. Oh, man. How did I get that plate? That's crazy. We assume that Volley Bear is probably hitting his Gromp or something. Gromp is dead? Is he on Tribush right now? Very rarely will you find an angle that good for free, but I'll take it. Let's assume that Volley Bear's here. Oh yeah, he is on that side. You can assume that because he wasn't hovering that bot lane play, right? That would be like an optimal position to be in if that was where he was. So because he wasn't there, you kind of know that he isn't. Because no one would just be at Gromp there or Wolves there and not walk. Now again, you have the question of, do you take your recall to be strongest as possible going into this grub fight? It's a tough one, but I think I can make this work with just how strong I am in the 1v1. He's actually on bot side right now, so this guy, this is what you call permanently on the wrong side of the map. Sometimes your rhythm just gets so thrown off. Games like this happen to me all the time. It's just kind of how the map plays out. It can kind of catch you lacking a little bit. But what it basically means is that we get double dragon and double grubs, so we are going kingdom on that. If he was like really locked, he would go to my bot side here, knowing that it should be up. And this is a really good spot to be in the game. Nice, good. So now we're every neutral, we're up farm, we're up experience, and we're up KP. And it's all because I'm just listening to the map, right? The map is giving me good ganks, and I just take them. That's all there is to it. You could gank this Vlad. Vlad has a lot of CDR right now, so he would actually be pretty much a nuisance, but down to give it a shot. Especially if he steps up on the start. Nice. Kench can just go in. We're just going to use Q to get him to W here. Smite to slow him down. Hopefully Tom hits Q, and then we're there. Oh, I might have to one-tap him. Okay, Tom's got me. Lock it in. I feel like Tom might have missed damage, but I actually can't tell what he did. I really think I can actually one-tap someone if it comes down to it. I'm going to look to heal on my blue buff, and then look to ult, maybe. I didn't see what the Tom was able to do, so I can't really judge him for his performance, because I couldn't see it. I know one thing's for certain, if this Volley Bear is on this rift, we would fight. Alright, never mind. Looks like Tom's going to TP, that's fine. Vladimir will win most of these range versus melee matchups. Just range versus melee, it's fine. Once Tom Kench hits team fights and starts frontlining for us, we'll see where his usefulness lives. Nice, we're good. Back up. I don't need no help. Nice. And we're actually going for Rift too. That's good. Don't know where Volibear's at to be letting this happen. I guess he's scared since he doesn't have top prio to look for this, but that's fine. I'll use that against him. Huge. And this is how high elo players, this is how they find consistent advantages. It's really like not that I'm seeing more ganks than you. Maybe, you know, maybe that is the case for some, but it's mostly I just am dedicated to the farm because you know, I mean that's how Riot has balanced jungle. You're just supposed to be doing this to stay a part of the game. Because everyone knows once you hit a certain point in the game as jungle, you're actually never allowed to farm again because everyone on the team is going to be taking a camp. And then you're going to be caught up with nothing to farm. And that's that feels pretty bad. So luckily you have to be, or not luckily, so you have to be very directly, you know, on the grind of getting your farm because it's not always going to be yours, unfortunately. Luckily with this recall we get the full Black Cleaver and a pink ward for this third dragon. And we actually have enough time to hit our Gromp too, maybe play for level 11. I could drop my pink right here and take that from him, but I actually want to save it for the same pit, so that's fine. Someone needs to grab that red buff too. We're doing good. Perfect. And this is what you want your games to look like, right? Not many random deaths, just doing what the map tells us. Nice, level 11. Level 11, 2 items, and that's Lux TP. We're gonna go here. My AD carry has actually 1 item, no boots. I don't think you can R this because Samira would just spin. But we can look with our Rakan. Right now I'm hitting the people that I do a ton of damage to. Ooh, forgot he didn't have W. We still hard play this play. I can actually really look here. I think he might run out. Hard read on that one. Insta Q, hop behind her when she goes to throw her Q. And they are ruined. Now we start scouting turrets. Both of them are riftable. And we have smite advantage because he didn't hit his Gromp, so he's actually late. So as long as we take this to 1200, I can't lose. Look at him. Again, the slower we do this, the better. Right there, we smited before 900, so he couldn't do anything. Let's no TP, so we're going to go here. Right, and you have to command your teams in this way. So you see how I'm running the map, right? I'm making the plays. But it's on me to not run this down for my team, right? Now we're actually going to go here. We're going to blast that in. And then now we're actually going to try and slide this bot lane. Again, if it's impossible to get the tier 2, then that's fine. Just, you know, make it work. Right, the tier 2 would have been tough because they're all just standing there watching it. Why'd saving W this long? It's crazy. Because Shelly definitely just got that turret, and then we get the kill. And this is what you want to do, man. This is what it takes to... If you want to take over jungle, you have to be really willing to play like this. The best junglers play like this, where you facilitate the map, and, you know, that is what it is. Now, there's some junglers that make it work just playing tanks and, you know, playing for the team really hard, but this is the most consistent way to win as junglers. You really facilitate the map, and you have to be really smart about how you move. Because it would be very easy to run this game down just trying to flip a bunch of ganks. And that's when I watch a lot of lower elo players that are actually just flipping a bunch of ganks. They're not really doing the math of where people should be, making informed decisions based off that. They're just taking ganks because they think they're there. And that can really hold you back, so you gotta focus. Now because they have so much CC, I'm actually going to play for the faded Tabby Steraks. You guys probably already know I rock with that very much so. It's just one of those things, like sometimes BRIAR as a frontliner just needs both of those stats. And yeah, it sucks to have to build like so, you know, similar often, but I mean, it's what makes your girl the most playable, and why, you know, shouldn't you find some happiness in that? Now they're making a forced play bottom, so I'm just going to take his top side for that. Just keep it very standard practice. You want to look for 300 gold? That's okay. I'm going to try and take as much gold back from you. Maybe even look for that. Can my support start running there? I'm going to try and look where she goes. I can just shoot Nar to buy him time to get there while I also hit this camp. Nice. I don't know if we're diving it, but it was worth a try. Oh, I trolled! My bad. The idea was there. You see it, right? You get queued, that's fine, right? Don't like, you can flash it, but there's a little bit of risk to just not, right? What if she misses? What if she throws that Rakan? I was a bit greedy there, my bad. I think my Rakan also could have ran under the turret, but the thing is, without voice comms, you can't tell him to run under the turret before you, so that you can just slide on the Lux, because, like, you can't type that in that pixel perfect moment. He just needed to know it, and if he didn't, then that's on me. I just needed to flash it then. Sometimes those mistakes are like tough to blame yourself for, like, oh well, you should have flashed. But it's like, well, there was this circumstance where I didn't need to flash, and I could have kept it. Those are completely fine. They happen all the time. A lot of people cope about stuff like that, but it's like, you'll never get anywhere not pushing the limits, especially in life. So feel free, always send it. TP there. That's Lux. Team's looking like they're playing pretty well. Just send it in, hopefully. Just kidding. Try and slide on this person. We go Baron. Again, I'm already pinging Baron before it even comes close, right? Shouldn't need too much help. Don't like that flash at all. Now, the cool thing about this Baron is it's Baron before Dragon Soul. So that's really good. So despite me trolling that one time, we're already back on the horse. My team started playing well, so that was good. Now, if Vlad goes to play for this, we can immediate jump him as long as someone keeps Baron aggro. Alright, so if he doesn't, we just do this and we all recall and play for Dragon. Smite, go here. Nice. Looking pretty good. So we've gotten 3 dragons, a Baron, 2 grubs, and a Rift. Right, and it's just by just keep updating the map as it happens, man. Don't worry too much. I have 20 seconds, so I'm actually going to look for level 14 while I wait for R. You know, always be getting something, right? Now I'm going to be watching my team. Now this is super greedy. I don't always recommend you guys do stuff like this unless you really know that you can. We're good. I have a good flank angle with my R, so I can walk in. I'm going to sweep in so that they don't see where the R is coming from. I'm in on a great position here. Slide in on where they're going. Find their AD carry. Big fear. Don't use W. You're going to W for the next fight. So like something like this. Okay. Might have to just do that. We can go. Oh, it hurts. Nice. I think we've gassed them out a little bit. Stand on the lantern. Nice. Lux, get off. Dude, this guy's sinking me with every Q. All good. I had to use smite there because, man, I was scared if I would get it or not. So it is what it is. What you do is you just try and save your W2. So like right here, I'm going to let my team wait for this to hit about 5,000. I'm going to hit W, and then I'm just going to save W2. Right? Got low. W2. A smite at 300 is better than no smite, so. Now we do have item. I'm just going to play a little vision play here, just see if I can catch her lacking. Because again, we want this these waves to be on their side all the time. Now my team just recalled, so I'm overstaying right now. Welcome to the Logan Jungle Church of Overstay. But now you see, I got an extra wave in on their side, got their Gromp, and I get the magic resist that I'm definitely needing. Now we have Tenacity to stop the Lux from stopping us that whole fight. Now we look good. We have Dragon Soul. We've gotten every single neutral. We're looking good. Now what to do from here is you want to just start suffocating their jungler, taking every one of his camps. Don't let them have vision. Don't let them have camps. And then when they, like, over-rotate their numbers, then you just pinch where they're weak. And that'll be GG. Seems like they're fighting right now. I'm going to try and find their vision. This is a Sightstone ward. You can see that at the top left, so I know that Thresh was here, but now he's not. We can actually see him right there. That's good. We're going to go here, since there looks like they're going to over-rotate. So they're moving 3 people plus the dead guy. So 1 person bot, so this should be open. Telling you guys gotta be able to see all this. You could ult to that fight, but it's neutral, or objectives rather, are way more important, so. Hop to your minion just to break aggro. Hop faster. Grab an inhib here, and then maybe look for the next tier 2. The next tier 2 looks like it's going to be bot lane right here, so we're going to head there. Hop to your minion, get the auto attack reset. We're going to go straight down to bot lane here. We're going to go straight down. This is how you take the map away. Just, I mean, dude, you just got to wait for them to throw the numbers in the wrong spot. Now we leave. Because we just got tier 2, tier 3, and tier 2. So we, in fact, do not want to fight them when they have numbers, and we have tons of money. I mean, if the fight starts looking crazy good, I'll look, but unless it's perfect for us, I'm not looking. Because you gotta spend your money or it doesn't exist. Right here, go ahead and grab that Spectre Scowl. Spectre Scowl actually got a buff a few patches ago, and now it's like a super sick item. For 1250, you get 35 MR. Really sweet. So I actually think it's like really good component to just buy. Again, just grabbing as many camps as I can before my team is active. So for a time like this, like I might even skip my Gromp. Luckily, my team's taking forever, so I can greed this. We're going most farm of the game here in a second. Most farm of the game. Purple Crab's OP, always grab this. Always make a big prio for this. Nice. We can start looking for here. I can show face on Thresh there just to get extra info. Try and hop over vision in a spot that Thresh couldn't see me. Now Thresh is going to look me here, that's fine. I'm going to break my E early just so I can try and get out of his stuff. Shoot R just so I can not run at them as far. And they actually never see that one coming, I'm not going to lie, that one's sick. Smear's looking for the time to slide. I'm just going to E the moment that I can. Oh my god. Smite just for the slow. We're yerking. Tell me the R isn't sick. I don't recommend doing that unless you're very familiar with it, but if you find yourself to be quite familiar, that is a good play through and through. We probably could have just ended, but we can play for another tier 2 in Baron. That's fine, we go here. Play the Baron. Seems like my team's getting a bit crazy. They definitely shouldn't. Grab a pink ward. Pink ward is the most OP thing. Alright, so they did overstay. Again, you can only facilitate as much as you want. People, I mean, unfortunately free will is a thing, right? But, is what it is. I mean, they just flat out didn't listen to the call. That's okay. Gave Vladimir a ton of money. Luckily, we just got our magic resist item, so not too worried about it. Now we have Baron and Elder coming up. The idea is that we actually want to win the fight at Baron, not go Elder. That would be the best case scenario. Because Elder's like one of the only ways they win, right? So play Baron and then like top side here. You never really want to play Elder unless it's free when you're in a winning game. We're actually on it. We can't get vision. I'll send it in for the chance. Oh my god, I love you, Vladimir. Thank you, bro. Well, thank you, Vlad, for hitting W so I can run towards your team, bro. Nice. They don't know their interactions like that. Oh, good. I'll take that. You guys go Elder, at least. Like, we don't want to flip Elder, but they just got Baron, so they actually have a little bit of prio on the map. Now, again, it's pretty good to just save your pink ward here. You have one decision that you can make, which is, do you try to... Oh, and we got a turret there. Do you try and buy an elixir here on the idea that you would not have enough for the full item next time, and you'd still have enough for the component that you'd buy? Really don't like this, but he might get a kill. Games like this that are this close, I think buying the elixir's good, but it can be a little scary. Seems like they're cooking it, no lie. My team's strong, we just happen to fall off for a second there on our working together parts. Purple Crab makes this very good for us, then we can make it here. Vladimir's their most fed member, so he's the main person to hide from. They need to be really careful not to just die. Look at the angle in which your R is coming from. That looks like the best version of this R. He spun it. That's actually pretty good for us. Because now we can just slide in. She has no spin for enemy team. Or for allied team. This might be GG depending on how many kills we can get. Again, we have magic resist now, so we're not really worried about it. Nice. Tenacity's kicking right there. You seen it? This is 3v5 in their base. If they kill that, that'd be 2v5. Nice. Minions actually give me a little bit of extra damage on Vlad, which is where you want to be. He hasn't W'd yet, so do a big chunk, because he can't kill you here. Beam into the wall if possible. Tap Q for this guy, and then play the W. And nice. You just successfully carried a game. Look at you, you're looking good. How did you guys get so clean? We queued the minions, so we won't go to Samira here. Using base, my team's gonna farm, that's fine. I'm gonna hit this Nexus. And there you go. Pretty sweet game, if you will. Tough one, but a good one. Good job.